The wrong venue can create stress even before your planning starts, and the right one can make everything else feel easier. I've seen couples fall in love with a venue because it looked incredible online. Stunning photos, beautiful styling, perfect angles, but then on the day reality hit. Rain came, there was no proper indoor space, the power wasn't reliable, the kitchen was basically a cupboard, and the reception and the ceremony were too far apart and guests were stuck in the car or traffic. And instead of celebrating, they were managing problems. And that's what happens when you choose a venue based on looks alone. A venue isn't just a backdrop, it shapes the entire experience of a day. So let's walk through how to choose one that actually works for you. So first, start with your numbers. Before you book anything, put together a rough guest list. Not a guesstimate, but an actual estimate, like as close as you can to the amount of numbers you want. Because if you book a space that's too small, you'll be cutting people out that you didn't want to cut out. And if you book one that's too big, it'll feel big and empty and you're paying for space that you're not using. And that emptiness can be surprisingly noticeable in photos and on the day. Secondly, think about how your day flows. Where is your ceremony? Where is your reception? How many people do you move between the two? And how do you move them? I've worked with couples who had the most beautiful venue, but the ceremony space was 30 minutes away from the reception. So they had to organise transport and everyone got bored in the car and just a chunk of the day disappeared. And when the ceremony and reception are in the same space or close by, the day naturally flows and feels smoother. You spend more time celebrating and less time managing logistics. Third, ask the practical questions. This is where you can avoid a lot of headaches. So practical questions like, what happens if it rains? How long do you have on the site? Are there hidden fees? Can you choose your vendor? What's the power setup like? Are there curfews or noise restrictions? Is there a proper kitchen? Are there enough bathroom facilities? These may feel boring compared to choosing flowers, but what they do is they protect you from panic on the day. So I've seen couples discover only after booking that they couldn't use their own caterer, or that there was no fridge for the cake, or that noise restrictions meant that the DJ has to stop early, or there's no aircon. That's not a style problem, it's a planning problem. Fourth, you've got to match your vibe to the venue. So think about how you want your day to feel. Do you want it to feel relaxed and easy, or formal and elegant, or modern and minimal, rustic and warm? And then look at the space. Does that naturally support that? I've once worked with a couple who wanted a calm and intimate wedding, and they chose this massive castle-style venue because it looked incredible. But on the day, it felt like totally impersonal. They had to spend the whole time making it feel warm and them with extra decor, which was extra budget expense. It looked beautiful, but it didn't feel like them. And that's a feeling you just can't style away. Finally, pay attention to how the venue feels while planning. If communication is slow, unclear, or difficult, that's a signal. If you feel pressured into decisions you don't understand, that's a massive red flag. And if you're constantly negotiating or being told that's not how it works here, that's not a partnership. You want a venue team that feels like allies, not obstacles. Something I tell couples all the time is in the planning process with a venue, if it feels stressful, it's not a sign that you're doing something wrong. It's a sign that the venue might not be the right fit for you. So choose a venue that fits your real wedding, not just your Pinterest board, because the right venue doesn't just look good, it feels good and it feels calmer and simple and everything slots into place and it feels like something you can actually enjoy. I'm Nat, I run EventZen up here on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, and this is Wedding Therapy, real advice for couples who want more than just the pretty side of weddings. So if this resonated with you or helped, please subscribe, comment below what you'd like me to talk about, and I'll see you in the next one.